Welcome back to Final Fantasy V. Last time, we completed the final major dungeon before the finale, which means we have the fourth and final tablet that we need to unlock weapons that we really don't need. The way this whole thing works, you probably get what you want the first time around. And then just, like, the Fire Whip is saved for last. I feel sorry for these weapons. There's a clear bit of favoritism, but like, come on. Gaia Bell? No one's gonna pick you first for Dodgeball, I'm sorry. Alright, so there's the classes for the day. So, I would suggest, considering what I'm going to be covering in this episode, if you're following along, make sure to go for your thirstiest ABP class. Whatever still needs a lot of points, equip that. You're going to want to do that. First, however, we're just gonna do this whole thing. This whole song and dance, alright. So, who was last choice? Yep. 112 legendary weapons, Fire Lash. Sorry.
Von Bolt during that one mission in Advanced Wars Dual Strike. Oh, I'm sorry, was that too obscure a reference?
No, I gotcha.
It just wasn't funny. Okay.
Look, I can give through context clues.
I have no comment for this
Sage
weapon.
staff. It's a staff that belongs to a sage. Woo and who. And now here's an actually cool weapon that I just didn't get around to getting. Normally I'd get Sasuke's katana sooner, but like...
Oh, really?
I wanted to, you know, get the, like, bell so I could actually maybe show it off. I had one window to do that.
You're saying that somebody that chose to call themselves Fafnir Masamune likes Japanese swords?
Yeah, weird. Anyway. So, I'm not gonna get it in this episode on screen, but I'm going to be getting as many of the, dark magics with Necromancer that I can. And I bring this up now because you're supposed to be able to get Dark Flare from either X-Death's Soul or the Tonberries. But I've killed both of them with Necromancer Krill, and I haven't gotten Dark Flare yet. So, like, maybe you have to wait until post-game to get those? I don't know why that would be the case, for reasons we'll actually see pretty soon, but, I guess we should focus on this imminent crash first, huh? We're being pulled into this mysterious hole in the earth that opened up after we finished with the tablets. If you're playing the SNES version, you are not going to see this. Bartz just knows what it feels like when time and space are collapsing in all around him. Cool, cool. Alright, well, I guess a mysterious voice is in our head, beckoning us to come here. It's been expecting us. Oh, and the door's shut. We're now trapped. Alright, so what do we have? We have something sealed by mysterious power, and another one of these bitches. It's too dark, we can't go in. So, despite the fact that the hack works the way that it does, we've got 3 crystals here that will do absolutely nothing, because it's Cannoneer, it's Gladiator, that spider on the ceiling moving around and I'm very distracted. Also, my least favorite, Oracle. Ah, hello, new friend. How did you even get here? Hey, how's it going? I'm a traveling merchant. I'm also trapped down here. Actually, this is great for business.
How will this affect the economy? Pretty well, actually.
Ah, shit, you stole the most valuable things here.
Guess I'll have to kill you.
Nobody will find you. Alright, so we're going to get an explanation on the Game Boy Advance classes, because this is normally where you would pick them up. So yes, most of the way through the well, it's not post-game yet, but most of the way through endgame, we have all the weapons we need. There's only one dungeon left for us to actually tackle, and we'd finally be getting the Game Boy Advance classes. Also, he has to take so long to explain Oracle, and doesn't even fully explain it. Hey, you might actually have something good happen if you pay specific attention to what MP you have. That's fun, right? You want to take into an account the exact digits in your MP, right? Right?
What's the Final Fantasy Tactics job that uses math? Is it called, like, Calculator or something?
Sure.
I just know that, like, there's a recurring stream that sets up AI-controlled teams, and when an AI has control of that class, they can do insane shit with it.
I guess it is math-based.
Yeah, they can manipulate numbers like nobody's business.
Finally, a job that was made for me. So yeah, now this guy will appear all over the world to sell you ammunition for the Cannoneer class. So yeah, make note that we also did not find the Necromancer class. That's because that one's not only Game Boy Advance exclusive normally, it's also post-game exclusive. You do not get access to Necromancer until you absolutely do not need Necromancer. Hey, do you want to get through the secret dungeon, and then have another class to grind out for no particular reason?
Could you imagine if Oracle was the post-game class?
Oh god, that would be the biggest disappointment. Especially since its best thing is ABP up. You wouldn't even need that anymore.
Well, maybe you would if you were doing some insane 100% run.
I guess so. 100% run where all of the grinding for 100% happens after the interesting shit in the game.
Maybe you're doing it for a post-game thing, I don't know.
But yeah, no, this is why I'm confused why I can't get Dark Flare from X-Death Soul or Tonberry, because I couldn't normally get those abilities anyway. Like, the ones I can get access to. I don't know, maybe I'll try killing another Tonberry. Because the thing is, I got a different Dark Art from that Tonberry I killed. And I had a few where I killed a certain type of enemy, and I just didn't get that particular Dark Arts. But then I killed a different type of enemy that the wiki told me can also provide the Dark Art, and I got it from that, so I'm only missing Dark Flare and the several abilities that are specific to enemies that can only be found in the post-game dungeon.
Yeah, I'm sure you already explained this when you first introduced Necromancer, but is it not like a random percent drop? Is it supposed to be guaranteed?
Yeah, basically, you kill a certain enemy with the Necromancer themselves, and you get that magic. As far as I know, it's not a random drop. Because it's also just like, you learned X and not just, it drops an item that teaches you a thing, like how some of the summons work. It's a little more like blue magic in that respect.
Yeah, random drops are always a difficult thing to balance in JRPGs.
Alright, and Ferris gained a job level and got Artful Dodger, which is not super helpful near the end of the game when I'm preparing to use Mime or Freelancer, because that basically just gives you a Thief's Agility. And that's it. Which, granted, Thieves are some of the fastest classes in the game, but I'm just gonna have that naturally on Freelancer or Mime anyway, so whatever. Alright, so I've decided to make everybody a Blue Mage because we're after one final Blue Magic spell. The last one is coming up, but it's not one I can manipulate into ramming straight into Bart's. And in fact, I can't even use it with control, so we've gotta wait for Parthenope to actually use it at her leisure. There we go, Rule A. Which was somehow fucking blocked. How did you do that, Lena?
Shoved her shield into the wheel.
So, in a moment we'll actually see how that works, but yeah, no, apparently Aegis Shield can also block a random instant death attack. I mean, good to know in the future. I don't mind in most cases, but yeah, no, here's Roulette. It just chooses a random character to kill, including the character that actually uses it. It's instant death that you can't aim, and can in fact own you as well.
This seems a little rigged in the enemy's favor, considering there's one of them and 4 of us.
You say that, but I did have takes where Parthenope used it and then died immediately. Yeah, it's weighted against us, but yeah, still. First thing that happened was Parthenope fucking instantly shot herself in the face. So yeah, there's our final Blue Magic spell. It is kind of a disappointment. Anyway, here's Liquid Flame. He's back, and he's far less of a pain. Oh, that feels so satisfying after the actual boss fights. Also, yeah, we got Meltdown from that. That's a Necromancer thing. So, Phoenix Tower is one of the tallest dungeons in the game, certainly. Especially in the original version. We've got a lot of floors to cover. All of them are fairly short. However, we also have a gimmick. Hidden doors. As far as I can tell, there is no, like... There are no NPCs in the world who are like, hey, if you go to Phoenix Tower, make sure to check this side of the wall on this floor. It's basically just trial and error. Also, we got Dark Haze. So yeah, floors like this, I think the expectation is that you just go through the tower, check each side of the wall, left or right, and if you are correct, you just have a piece of paper, you mark it down, and if you die in the dungeon, you know where to go on your next run. However, this is by far the better gimmick of this dungeon, right here. It's a trap monster attack. So we've got the magic pots. Now, I hope you haven't been using elixirs, because as useful as they are, Magic Pot wants elixir, and then he gives you a little example of what it looks like when he has an elixir. He really wants it. So, the downside of this is... it's a random number as to how many elixirs you need to give to Magic Pot. Sometimes he'll just ask for 1 or 2, sometimes, however, he asks for a bunch of them. I don't remember if this is weighted depending on how many elixirs you actually own. Because if you have been using elixirs, you might be kinda boned at this point. You might not have enough. But he demands ever more. Yeah, I know. You want more elixirs, it's fine. I shall continue feeding your addiction.
So the Chemist's Mix ability doesn't make, like, actual items. Like, you can't make elixirs, right?
You cannot know.
Okay. I thought that might be an interesting way to handle this. Also, Jesus.
Yeah, so that's the true thing about the magic pots. Also, look at Red Mage. I'm at level 3. If you've played vanilla Final Fantasy V, normally that would say 999 ABP and not 500. Thank you, Custom Classes Hack, for making maxing things out far easier. The same thing goes for the Mime class and their Mimic ability that you can learn. Again, normally after 999 ABP, in this version, it's just 500. But yeah, magic pots, as we will see once again, give you 100 ability points if you decide to give them elixirs and not murder them. As long as you don't kill them, and they just, run away being satisfied by the number of elixirs you've given them, you get just a ton of ability points. So like I said, whatever job needs the most points, just in general, equip them for Phoenix Tower. Because you want to equip them and not waste any ability points if you're able to manage it. The magic pots do not respawn ever. This is your one opportunity to farm for ABP in this way. Once you're out of these, it's back to Ball Castle. It is still the most efficient to grind ability points by just running around in circles and level 5 deathing Object to Arts. So yeah, that's 200 ABP we've gained so far. And the dungeon continues. So, yeah, we've got our 2 gimmicks. We've got wall puzzles, and we've got magic pots that we just want to feed elixirs. And as for enemies, they can actually be pretty tough. The theme of the enemies this time around is just weird hot ladies. So, you got a lady and some flowers, you've got a snake lady. There's one what we haven't seen yet, because so far, climbing this tower, I've just been killing her instantly. We'll see her eventually, though, when she actually does something. Oh, thank you for only taking one. That's 300 ABP. Also, they give Phoenix Downs, but like, come on, that's the least important thing here. Alright, Triple Lemur. It's my favorite Vocaloid song. Also, god, that just looks like, Eris.
Oh, you're right. And she's associated with... Oh god. I wonder if there's like a common thing that this design and Eris are pulling from. Because it's not just the hair, they're also associated with flowers.
Also, I called her Eris, even though at this point it's just solidly Aerith.
Well, Eris is closer to how it's pronounced in Japanese, if you had to see.
Fans will get incredibly pedantic about this argument.
The Ace Attorney Investigations 2 official localization was announced a few weeks ago at this point. I'm still not calling him Eddie Fender.
Also, since we're on yet another magic pot fight, the fact that he always says yay yippee, I do just imagine magic pot with the Wayne Radio TV gnome voice.
Yay yippee! I need elixir. I need elixir or you will fail the challenge.
We're succeeding in so many challenges.
My elixir meter is low. You have failed the challenge.
So god, I've already lost track if that's 400 or 500 ABP we've earned, but it's a lot.
Where are you going?
Either which way.
We can't go to the end of the game without me. I don't know if this even sounds close to the gnome voice.
Ah, here we go, Sherry. So I've got some dancers here. Cool design, I like whatever the hell it is they're doing with this water. They're just waterbenders.
I can't believe they whitewashed Katara. Why can't I believe that? They did that canonically in the movie that happened.
So here's Dance Hall Days. It puts you to sleep, which was not great, because if I'm remembering this battle correctly, this one very nearly killed me. So let's see, you gonna use that other ability I know you have. Well, you're confused. Unfortunately, she turned herself tiny. Okay, Dance Macabre. That turns you into a zombie. So yeah, the only guy with items is currently asleep, and now Ferris is a zombie, and she's kinda strong. Admittedly, this is a lot better than Krill being, turned into a zombie, because she would just be punching people to death. Also, God, they're both tiny, Lena's dead. Okay, it's fine, that's actually what I wanted to happen. Just turned her old. Okay, so... it's fine, Ferris is just shooting herself now. Thank you for waking up Bartz. Even as a zombie, you figured out what you're supposed to be doing. Fuck you specifically. Also, I don't think it happens on screen, but I did eventually get a special relic called the Hermes Sandals. I believe those are from Sherry. But it is an item that basically just starts you with haste, which is, of course, very useful. Alright, well, you helped out a lot. Die. Kinda wish you could just let an enemy go if they've been confused and turned tiny. Like, what was she gonna do at that point?
Bite your ankles.
Not if she's impressed by my charms. Or, I guess by being shot, is how it actually went down. Got shot with a cannon so hard she was like, you know what, I'm gonna help these guys.
Preemptive strike, hi!
It's an incredibly gnome-core song, honestly. I don't know if I'm referring to the specific gnome or just gnomes in general. Honestly, kinda both. Also, I don't know what ability got sacrificed on Thief. I didn't quite pay enough attention. But yes, this hat gives Thief dual wield as their final ability. So Ninja and Thief both get that. Gotta say, I am happy about that decision. But it does make some other strange decisions, too. Like, Cannoneer no longer has EXP up. It went to one of Lena's classes, I forget which one off the top of my head, but, they did give Cannoneer Zen Engage, so eventually Ferris can throw money. Alright, there we go. That was our final battle of Phoenix Tower. It was, in fact, incredibly easy. You only have to fight on the first and final floors, but if you guess incorrectly in any of the other spots, yeah, you get attacked by monsters. Anyway, here's Hiryu. So one theme of Final Fantasy V is that animal buddies can never only suffer one death scene. They have to have two. Also, they sound like that when they're dying. And now we get one final Lena flashback. Don't worry, I got this. Here I go, off to save a Windrake. Princess Lena, things can't usually live without their tongues. So anyway, you get a choice here. If you say yes, King Tycoon just runs in, bum rushes Lena, and just shouts, "You fool!" So we're gonna say no. Because ultimately the same thing happens no matter what. Lena was never able to save her mother. But eventually she grew to be friends with Hyrule. And you know, I think it's also an interesting choice if you say that, like, Lena was still going to go through with it, but, you know, still couldn't in the end, and develop that bond anyway. But I cannot see King Tycoon body-checking his daughter. It's one problem with the limitations of sprites. If it was just him smacking the knife out of the way, like, that'd be fine, but you really can't convey that in these sprites.
Yeah, when this game gets the FF7 remake treatment, and I know it will, they'll be sure to do that.
So, at the end of Phoenix Tower, Hiryu is changed like a remix, and raised as our final summon, the Phoenix. Alright, so that's that. Let's check over all our magics, because at this point, we have nearly everything. As I said before, there's still a bunch of dark arts we need. But we've got Spellblade, of course, since we got all white and black magics. Blue magic list is done, thank God. Songs are finished. Dark arts, room for improvements. And yeah, there we go. Here's Phoenix. MP cost 99. You use that if you are in deep trouble. Alright, well, as always, thank you, Time Mage, and your ability to teleport, because at this point, the game absolutely assumes that you have teleports. If for some reason you do not, you do have to walk to the bottom of that 30-floor dungeon, which is not a good time, so, you know, make sure to have Time Mage. Even if you're doing a special run, I don't think anybody in Forge Fiesta is gonna complain if you decide, I'm just gonna use Time Mage real quick. Also, what the fuck is your problem, Cornago? They were ready for me! Hey, you got her gourd! Give that back! Alright, well, it's an old-ass enemy, so goodbye. I landed and I thought I was immediately going to the Phantom Village for some reason, but no. It was just the fucking Cornago. Alright, well, that is it. I'm off to go grind for a good long time. But next time we meet up, it's time to begin the finale of Final Fantasy V.
Oh shit, I gotta get back to recording the next LP then.
It's fine. There's still post-game, and who knows how long that's gonna take.